Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. I'm Harry. That's Jay. We've got Edie Blanchard here today.
Hello, thanks for
Mc-
having me.
You got it. McNider Art Museum. And you guys are ready to start some fall classes, I understand. The kids are back in school, so that means kids and families all got to get back together and get some classes going at McNider Art.
Yes, and everybody kind of didn't do anything and for a whole year, and so we're hoping people are excited to get back to the museum and kind of get back to the routine of things. Most of our stuff is operating as normal, so we're excited to bring that to the public.
You betcha. Oh, by
So,
the way, this segment, by the way, is brought to you by CG Public Health out at Plaza West Shopping Center or cghealth.com. Go ahead, Jay.
so Edie, what kind of classes do you offer there at the
Well, we offer classes all the way from really little kids, starting at age 2, all the way up through adults, and so we kind of like to say that you're never too old to be an artist, and we find that to be true. We actually have an exhibition going on right now of a woman that was from Iowa that wasn't discovered until she was like in her late 80s, early 90s. So we have actually had a bunch of classes this year that is more focused on people over the age of 65, and that's kind of been a interesting and unique thing because people think of kids, when they think of classes, which we
Sure.
do have, but we want everybody to feel welcome.
Yeah. So, how about highlighting some of those classes? Do you have anything new you want to add? Maybe start with that.
Well, we've always had requests for sewing classes over and over and over again. They say, nobody knows how to sew anymore, and things like that. And so that's one of the classes that we have coming up is a class where you'll learn the very basics of sewing, and that's for kids. And they'll make like these little, soft, plushy animal type things. Very easy for them to do, totally something that they can do on their own. And then they can go home and use those skills to, work on it at home. That's the idea with all of our classes is, you kind of pick up something little and then you go on from that.
That's what I want to see. I want to see Jay Brooks sew.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
just get so many classes and requests for that,
I bet.
One
I
thing
bet.
I like to highlight for our adult classes is that Bill Mateer, who was the NIAC instructor for pottery for a very long time, has kind of since retired from doing that, but he's still going to teach a class for us. So if you're a person that, is interested in learning from, an actual artist, he has a long career as an artist, he is going to be teaching for us this fall. And so that's an example of, classes that, that we have for adults. We also have a stained glass class. That's a pretty cool class that we have coming up as well for adults.
What about you see grandma crocheting in the rocking chair, right? You offer those kind of classes too?
So we have not right now offered any crochet and knitting classes. However, we have in the past.
Okay.
And it's all a matter of finding the right instructor to being able to do that. So, that's kind of the thing with that.
You can find a grandma, I'm sure.
Yes, that would want to teach. I know. So, we actually even had groups that used to come and do knitting in the galleries, as kind of like a therapeutic, relaxing thing. And so that's something that I think people would be interested in as well.
How about some of the other classes that you have that need more people? I'm sure some of the thing about with
Yeah.
McNider Art, when McNider Art does classes, they fill up fast. They
They
really
do. And I will say the majority of our classes really are getting full. So I'm going to read off just some of the kids' classes that I know people are very interested in.
Okay.
The first is Art Bugs. And I wanted to promote that because we didn't do Art Bugs for an entire year because of COVID. And so we just have started doing that. And that's specifically for the ages 2 to 4. And then, you come with a caregiver because, at 2 to 4, they're not always potty trained. So they kind of take care of that. And also at that age, they really still need help with a lot of the little things like cutting and things like that they haven't mastered yet. They haven't been through kindergarten. So I want to make sure everybody knows that we do have our Art Bugs classes from ages 2 to 4 that have started again. Like I said, they were very popular. We didn't do it for a year. We've had a lot of phone calls and we hope people will sign up for them. My Doll and Me, that's another class that, is all about like making little things, sewing little things. It's kind of like the American Girl dolls. And then you can make all different sorts of accessories. This one is themed on bedrooms. So bedroom furniture, pillows, things like that for those American Girl doll style dolls. As I mentioned, we had the kids sewing class, which I want to recommend to people because we're asked all the time about, having a sewing class for kids since it's not taught in the school system anymore. And we just need kids to register for it at this point. 3D Minecraft. So what that is taking Minecraft items, like the golems and things like that. And you make them out of perler beads and things like that. And we make them 3-dimensional. So it's kind of a take on a sculpture class, but using kind of a modern twist with something like a video game. Going back to our background in art, we have a lot of classes, like we have a wire sculpture day, and that will be something that they will make free-form wire sculptures that they can kind of, do on their own. Manga, you guys know what that is?
I know what Mensa is, but not Manga. Is that like Jenga?
Yeah, Manga is, like the Japanese style comic books. You think of it as anime when it's on television. That's the name for it on television. Yeah. And so that's something that we hope will be really popular. But so basically it's teaching you how to draw all the little characters in manga and, add watercolor to it. Even if you know how to do manga, learning watercolor techniques is kind of fun. So what we've tried to do is take traditional art techniques and put them with modern interests of today's kids. And so that's what we're kind of trying to do. We always do a Santa's Helper Day where you can drop off the kids and they can make a whole bunch of Christmas items. And then at the end of the day, they have Christmas presents for aunts and uncles and neighbors and things like that. And then we also have a Winter Fun Day where there's no school during Christmas break. And those parents that are about ready to kill their kids, they're about ready to strangle them. They want them to go back to school. So this is a good opportunity for them. And that's actually going to be on December 29th. So right before New Year's there, you can get rid of your kids for a day.
We should probably throw in the fact, both Jay and I are grandpas.
Yeah.
And you do get some grandparents that bring in the grandkids for some of the stuff.
We do, I would like to point out, if you do have family coming to visit, it's a great place to come. We have the blue blocks out. We have all those sorts of things, the kids interactives that we have, the puppets and things like that. But we do have people that, if they're going to have a grandchild in town for a weekend, they kind of look at the schedule and then decide, hey, I want to enroll them in this class. And, a lot of them, it's a popular thing to do. That brings me to the family classes, which we really didn't emphasize before COVID, but then we found that they were very popular during COVID. And so we have 2 that are popular or that we're going to have this year. The first is in the fall, and it's a Ghostbusters class. So this is a family class, meaning that, you take it with either your grandkids or your nieces or nephews. Like I've had, aunts and uncles come, cousins, kind of a whole family deal. You sign up as a group. And then so you work at a table with your group and you make the arts and crafts together. And so this one in particular is a Ghostbusters polymer clay, but basically you'll make all the little figurines from Ghostbusters. And then the next one that's we think will be really popular is a Candyland house for the holidays. And so that's one where it's a little bit different than a gingerbread house because it's not made of edible material, so it can be saved year after year. And so those are kind of some of the popular ones. So,
all right.
If people want to get signed up, then Edie, how do they go about doing that?
The easiest thing to do is to call the museum, which is 641-421-3666. Speak to our receptionist. She can tell you if there's even any openings in the class, and you can just register on the phone with her. You can stop in. At this time, you can't sign up on our website. There's some hiccups with payment and things like that, so we're working through that. But for the most part, just call up on the phone. You can find a list of all of our classes on our website, which is www.mcniderart.org. But you can also go to our Facebook page, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And on those, we always put examples of all the classes that we're doing. So let's say you want to know a little bit more about, we talked about the manga drawing. So what is that? What's it like? What am I even talking about? You can go to our Facebook page and you can see examples.
And these are the classes that will be good to go through the rest of the year, as Edie pretty much told you about a lot of this stuff, even into Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that stuff, and a Christmas break, you, of course, talked about. There's something else that's going on here, and we're about a month away, and that is Artoberfest. We're going to talk to you again here in about a month, probably, about this, but can you give us a little bit about Artoberfest? And obviously, we can probably go to the website to find out more as well.
Yeah, so last year we still did Artoberfest, but it was entirely online because of COVID. And so this year we've determined that it is going to be an in-person event unless things drastically change and there's governor's orders and things like that. But at this point, we're planning on having an in-person event, although there will be an online component for people who don't wish to come to the event. But basically, it's a big fundraiser for the museum. This is, I think, like our 13th or 14th year doing it consecutively. It's been a really long time, but what it is, it's wonderful food and fall style beers and fall decorations and music and things like that. And it's all to celebrate the museum, but it's also to raise money for us. So it's going to be on October the 8th, starting at 6 p.m. and tickets are $50. You can buy them at Hy-Vee East and Mormon Clothiers, and you can also buy them here at the front desk of the museum. The board members also at the museum will also be selling them if you know one of them. But we do expect it to sell out. Prior to COVID, it did sell out almost every single year. And so if you want tickets, I do recommend that you get them here shortly.
Tickets are on sale now, right?
They are on sale now. Yep.
Okay. Well, excellent. Well, Edie, it's been a fantastic time talking to you here today and getting all that information. And I know Harry's looking forward to going to school.
I think you and I should get the grandkids all rounded up and we get down there and learn something. I'll bet you they'll do better than we will.
Yeah,
well,
probably.
Something to keep in mind when we have our holiday open house coming up. That's another really great opportunity for people to bring their grandkids and family members to the museum. That's always the second Saturday in December. And we're already starting to plan that. I know it sounds weird, but we're already on to the next thing. That's how we have to keep rolling.
That's right.
That's right.
McNiderArt.org will tell you more about it. Just head there. And but if you want to sign up, go to the museum and do that.
Yeah, it's easiest just to call us on the phone at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we try and do this weekly here on our Facebook and on our websites at 987kisscountry.com. You can find those videos and also on 103.7thefox.com or no, 103.7thefoxrocks.com.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not used to saying that one all the time.
I'm teaching him.
Yeah, right. And of course, thanks to our great sponsors, CG Public Health. Those guys doing that and help spread the word around the community about what's going on with different businesses and community events and things like that. So, Edie, again, thank you very much.
I want to thank you so much for having me on today.
You got it.